Hi everyone. It's July 2nd and I'm late for tea time. I can't believe it. A couple of technical difficulties here, right? So I apologize for that. I think we're at about 3:03 as far as my computer's concerned. And I'm going to shut my computer down because for those of you who go live, I want you to know this. You just listen as you hear, hi Merlin, as you hear humming in the background, and it's really annoying. And I was taping something the other day and I couldn't understand what was going on replay. I actually thought it was a lawnmower, and it turns out that it was my computer running in the background. So I'm doing a live from my phone, but my computer's always on because I'm always looking at crap on my computer. And so because it's dying, it's making a very, very loud humming sound. So you'll see as I shut it down, you'll see as that noise goes away that's what it is. So if you're taping live, don't have your computer running. So I was, hi Carol. I was surprised at my post last week, and I have to tell you guys, I was very, very surprised because I wrote about my hobby and very few of you jumped on that bandwagon. And when I asked you what your hobbies were, there wasn't a lot of responses. Carol and Sandra, I know you've got a lot of stuff on the go right now. You're something like me. You're always on the go doing something, and we kind of go in a squiggly line, right? And Carol, Sandra, I know you said you do a lot of gardening. I do a lot of gardening too. And actually, after my post last week, I really, really, really started looking at my hobby, and I've really started to enjoy it even more because I wrote about it. So there's my computer's gone off. Isn't that amazing? So, so I thought, what are people doing to take the focus off of themselves and their own disabilities and their own problems and health problems and everything, right? Hi, Jeanette. Hi, Marion. How are you? It's nice for you to join us today. So I'm going to tell you another story, but I got to get through this first. Yeah, I'm very squiggly too. I go back and forth, and you know, I used to be an accounting instructor, and so I go back and forth between my Catch Your Breath community and my accounting community, and where I can get paid and how much money I can make. And I've got to be able to support myself because I don't have a pension, and you know, it's anyways, everybody knows that story. So I was pretty disappointed. Why don't you guys have hobbies? Come on. We've got to do something to keep our mind off of our disabilities and stave off isolation, depression, and mental health issues. I want you to go to my blog this week, so I'm challenging you to do this. And I want to see that this post on my Pinterest has the most views at it. I want you to go to my Pinterest at Catch Your Breath 60 and have a look at my boards. And one of my boards says hobbies for COPD and chronic illness. And I'm challenging you to go in there and look for a pin that says 52 things to learn for free. Because I love education. That's my big deal. Like, education is the thing for me, right? I was always in education. My kids should be scholars because I pounded it into them every single night. My husband and I both went back to school. We were both in school. Well, the kids were in like grade 5, 6, and 7, and we did teach them the morals and values of learning, and that was the gateway, and this is where you should be, and these are the things that you have to know. And we all sat down and studied together after supper at night. So I'm challenging you to go to my Pinterest board. Go to a board that says hobbies for COPD and chronic illness or something like that. You see it says hobbies. It starts with hobbies. And I want you to go to a pin that says learn 52 things for free. Find something that you'd like to learn for free. Next week, I'm going to tell you what my choice was, and I'm going to tell you how I made out with that pin. So I'm not getting paid for this. I'm just promoting this pin because I think free education is just priceless. So I want you to have a look at 52 things to learn for free. It's on my Pinterest board called Hobbies for COPD and Chronic Illness, something like that. And I'm going to pick one this week, and I'm going to come back next week and see what you learned for free. And let's get a hobby started, something to take your mind off this damn chronic illness that just won't go away. Yes, Carol, we're having a test next week. It's the teacher in me. I can't help it. So last night, we had a long weekend this weekend. I thought you guys had it too. And I don't know why. It's because I'm not working anymore. I knew that you celebrated it on the day. And last week I even said, oh, we got a holiday weekend coming up. In Canada, we had our holiday weekend. It was July 1st. And we do also celebrate on the day. We were just lucky this year that it was on a Monday. So we had a long weekend and we had an absolutely fabulous time because we spent most of it with my grandson. And he came to visit. And hi, ladies. How is everybody today? He came to visit and I just love him to pieces. And my daughter says as soon as he gets out of the car seat and he looks around and he sees where he is, he starts giggling. Mostly that's because of my husband. Him and his papa got something going. But, you know, we are babysitting on Fridays, and I absolutely adore this child. So we had an excellent weekend. And but as I was getting down to it last night, and I was answering emails and checking out my social media, I saw an advertisement for an app for Headspace. And I also talked about this in a couple of blogs about using Headspace. It's the best meditation app, especially when you're first, you know, there's a million of them out there and you can try them all. The problem with trying them all is that you don't really get down to the nitty gritty of anything, right? So I use Headspace and I've kind of gotten away from it since my husband's been home because he now is retired. And so, you know, I think we kind of feel like we have to entertain each other, which is just silly. I have the space, so when he got home, I cleaned up my office, and that's why I've been in my office, and so I kind of live here now. But I do have hi Susan, hi Elaine. I do have the ability to do this, and I just have been negligent in it. Actually, it's a secret. I also stopped using writing in my journal, and I'm not sure why that happened, but it's not good because I'm going to tell you the next story that I have to say. So I stopped writing in my journal because it got very discouraging and I had problems with some medication and I started retaining water and I can't seem to get it under control. And my skin is really dry and everything's dry. Everything is so dry. I just don't want to take more Lasix. But I just can't seem to get this damn water under my ankles are swollen for the first time. And I just, you know, I'm feeling short of breath. And when I feel like that, I'm less likely to exercise because, you know, it hurts. And I get really short of breath and it's really, really hard. And guess what? It makes it worse when I don't exercise. And, you know, so my grandson comes over at 3 o'clock. Some days I see him because my daughter is so good to me and she wants us to have a relationship. And it's really important to her. It's as important to her as it is to me. And she brings my grandson for me at 3 o'clock most days. So she works for me in the morning until 2 o'clock. And she has from 2 to 3 to pick him up at the daycare. She picks him up at 3 as soon as he's finished his nap. And then she brings him over here and we have a little chat until about 5 o'clock. And then she goes home and makes supper. She's such a trooper. She makes supper every night. They never order out. So anyways, when the grandson comes, you know, like everything has to stop. And he's always hungry. This boy is always hungry. He is the best eater I have ever seen in my life. So, you know, the way to a boy's heart is through his stomach. So Granny always has bananas and muffins for him. So he came over last week, and he wants to sit with his mother, and he wants to be clingy, and he wants to be just a little pain in the butt. And the only way that I can get him to come to me is when I have a banana or a muffin, because he's just always hungry. And one of the first words he said, Dada, Nana. And that wasn't Granny or Nanny. That was, I want a banana. So he would come over, and my daughter said to me, Mom, he's got a sore throat. Don't share your banana with him. But I said, I know better, because after all, I'm a grandmother, and I could share my banana with anybody I wanted to, and that she wasn't the boss of me. So Hunter and I continued to share a banana, and we continued to share a muffin. And this went on for days and days and days. And one day we shared a piece of cheese. And finally, one morning I woke up and my throat is killing me. And it's only my throat, so I'm not really concerned about it. And it got worse. And I thought, I know, Carol, but he's not talking about Granny. He's talking about a banana. And so anyways, I've got a sore throat. And I thought, well, I'm too smart for this because it's only in my throat. It's not in my chest and I don't have to worry about it. And so I didn't take my Z-Pak. And all weekend I kept thinking, oh, I'm so tired. I can't understand why I'm so tired. So the moral of that story is, if you're going to share bananas with your grandson, make sure that you have your Z-Pak and start it nice and early. The cold has gone down to my chest now, and I am kind of bringing up a lot of phlegm. So on that Z-Pak. And so I had an article up last week about erythromycin, which is what we used to get with our Z-Paks. And I was very, one of the reasons why I didn't take it as early as I should have is because I thought it was erythromycin. But it turns out that my doctor is a little smarter than that, and he probably read the article too. And I have amoxicillin. So I'm hoping that that makes a difference. And by the way, when I'm talking about, we're talking about taking our Z-Pak, and for those of you who don't know what we're talking about chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, which is what we have, COPD. And when we have exacerbations or a flare-up or an infection in our lungs, we take what's called the Z-Pak. And the Z-Pak is, sometimes it's referred to as your action plan. And it's a combination of antibiotics and prednisone, steroids. Those are the two things that help our lungs get better and help it to repair better. And just as an aside, I want to make sure that you know, for a lot of us, we take probiotics, and if you get a lot of bloat in that, you can take a probiotic. And I don't think that they really hurt you, but know that when you are on antibiotics, you're not supposed to take a probiotic. So you stop those while you're on the antibiotics, and then start them when you're finished, because they do two different things. So don't mix those two up, okay? So, Nana Banana, don't share your banana with your grandson. That's the moral of this story. So I am relaxing this week. I am taking it nice and easy. I am resting when I can, and just kind of sitting around, not doing too much of anything. I'm going to really baby myself and tend to my garden. And of course, I'm going to learn something on 52 Things to Learn for Free. I appreciate people that are signing up for my page. My page is getting a lot of attention here, and I really like it. So one of the other questions I'd like to leave with you, and if you wouldn't mind leaving me a comment about this. I've been putting up a lot of posts, a lot of different blog posts, and I want to know if you like that information. I want you to know that I am not writing those blog posts, because somebody got in touch with me yesterday and said, wow, like I can't catch your style. It's all over the place. And I said, that's because they're not my articles. Okay, so those are just things that I have access to, that I go through and I think, oh, somebody might like this or somebody might like that. I know that some of you travel, And there was a nice a blog article there about traveling, something that I would not be able to help you with because I don't travel. There was the one about amoxicillin. No, about erythromycin. I don't know if, people want to talk to their doctors about that stuff. I've never had any problems with it, but hey, who knows, right? I had a good one there about camping with chronic illness and how, we don't, sometimes if you don't have the, I don't know, if you can't anticipate what's going to happen, how can you get ready for these things? So some of these blog posts would be good information to get you thinking about, what you should be doing. So I will continue to share if I get a lot of likes about that and comments about it. Otherwise, I want you to know that they're not my articles and they're just things that I found that I thought that you would be interested in. And if you like it, I will continue doing it because it's easier than having, stupid memes. And I don't mean that. I really enjoy seeing other people's memes, but I don't want to, I don't know what their value is. So follow me on Instagram. I've got all kinds of them. I put all kinds of them up, right? And I also want you to know that these articles that I am putting up, they're not my blogs. But these people are in the same boat as me. And if anybody would like to copy it, copy a link and share it, you're more than welcome to. Okay? So, we probably know some people that can help, that these articles can help, because a lot of these articles are about chronic illness, not specifically COPD, right? But funny how the more we're different, the more we're the same. So I'm glad that for those of you that are liking it. So if I get a lot of responses on that, I'll just keep putting those up. People are really, really appreciative of those articles. Kevin was one of the ones. Oh, and so because I was sharing bananas with my grandson, speaking of Kevin, I put a quick post up today, and my spelling error. Kevin always catches me every time I make a spelling error. Kevin catches me, or put up something that's very inappropriate. The next email will be text from Kevin saying, "Oh, I wouldn't be putting that up." I put teat time instead of tea time on my post. So I was joking with Carol about just trying to attract the men there, right? But that's, tea time. Yeah. Yeah, I get it. But there you go. Don't share bananas with your grandson and you'll be in a better position to be able to put a post up. Remember that I am on Instagram, Pinterest, and I'm really trying to build my boards on Pinterest. Yeah, no, not a former English teacher. That would be my daughter. She is the queen of English. And no, she didn't get that gene from me. I don't know where she got it from, but no, not that kind of a teacher. So I'm on Pinterest and I'm trying to build my boards, and let me know what you'd like to see on Pinterest. I'd love to hear what you have to say. I'm furiously trying to build my boards there and get some attention going on Pinterest. These things take a lot of time, and it's a lot of, I'm trying to juggle a few things, right? So getting the time to get right into these stupid algorithms and everything, I just don't have the capacity to think of it like that. I'm on Twitter, and I'm on YouTube. I just started to get active in my YouTube, and by the way, letting you know that tea time information is not private, and it will be going on YouTube. So I hope that that doesn't bother anybody, or that people aren't making comments that they don't. As long as you know that it's going well. I don't know. I think I've got about 20 subscribers, so I don't think you have to worry too much. So that's YouTube. Trying to build YouTube now, right? And of course, my blog comes out tomorrow. So we have I have my audience. I have a lot of new subscribers here to Catch Your Breath 60 on Facebook Live, and a lot of you have not signed up for my posts, but you rely on Facebook here. So if you want to sign up, I'd be more than happy to have you sign up to my blog to get the post every week in your mailbox, because sometimes you're flipping through and you're going, oh, that'd be cool to read, but my mother-in-law is sitting here, I can't be that rude. And so you would get them in your mailbox, right? So blogs aren't, but you can view the videos, tea time videos, on my blog. If you go at the top, I was looking at it the other day, and this marvelous woman that does my my blog stuff for me, and she has all the videos. So if I post something to YouTube, it goes right into my videos, and you can see it across the top. If you look at the home page, you can see my story and about this and bits and pieces, and then it says videos, and on those videos you can review all the Facebook Live views. So yeah, my blog, right? So I'm feeling really, really sleepy today, and I think I'm going to go in and have a little lay down, take care of myself. And I'm not sharing any more bananas with my grandson, but that's it. So tomorrow afternoon there'll be a new blog out, and really it's for the newbies. Remember that if you know somebody who you suspect has a lung problem, send them to Your Lung Association. Help them get looked after, so that we don't let it go too long before it is a crippling illness. That's it for today for Tea Time Tuesday. This is Barbara Moore, and I want you to look at a couple of websites before we go, or groups on Facebook. And the first one is COPD, Exercise to Healthy Living. And in my blog post tomorrow, I am going to put a few more of the groups that I visit on a regular basis, so that we might infiltrate a little bit more of the groups and spread ourselves around a bit. Hi, Wendy. How are you? Are you swimming in your pool? I hope you are. I'd like to see some of us, maybe having a look around at some of these. We probably have a lot of information that can be shared, and this is the way that we're going to share it. So don't feel bad if somebody's looking at other websites other than yours, or other blog posts other than yours, or other groups other than yours. Let's spread ourselves around and let's help each other, okay? This is a community that only we can help each other at. Barbara Moore signing off today for Catch Your Breath 60. I hope you have a great week. And for my American friends, have a great holiday on Thursday. Bye for now.